After 40 years of friendship, could Adam Copeland and Christian Cage put their rivalry to rest?
Who is the CEO going to target for her first hostile takeover?
And what does Okada's victory over that dastardly king of bums Eddie Kingston mean for the future of AEW? All that and more this week's episode of Grapple-Sauce. Hit it, Dave.
And we all eat the last dab. Daver here. Welcome to the show.
And Chandler's back as well. I'm suffering, but how we doing, Dave?
Oh man, nothing to it. I'm gonna no-sell it and put over the culinary masterpiece that is the Last Dab experience. Good golly. What a sauce.
I am Okada getting chopped to hell by Eddie Kingston, but I'm gonna come back, baby.
That dude can sell. He can sell on like Darby Allin level. Who else we got?
Good question. I don't know.
Who else can sell? Who else can
Brock Lesnar
sell?
sells very well for little guys.
Sami
Zayn.
There we
Gunther.
go.
That's what makes Gunther so good is his selling for little guys. Everyone, but
Yeah. No, I'm feeling it a little bit. This is good stuff, man. Like they have somehow made such a novelty hot sauce for people to try to embark on, kind of a destination hot sauce, if you will. But they've managed to make it taste great. Like, what are you guys feeling on the flavor? You hate it, Chandler?
I don't like it.
The flavor's good. It's better than the bomb.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. For only being peppers and vinegar, I think they've pulled something off.
See, I just don't like
definitely an experience.
Oh,
yeah.
I just don't like the flavor of peppers or vinegar, so that's my issue.
And it doesn't hang around. Like I'm already kind of okay. Like with the peanuts, I was not okay for quite some time.
Yeah. No, this is still kicking my ass, and we're gonna do it once an in-ring segment. So that's every match and the 2 promos. So, but before we get into that, any news?
Yeah. So a lot of people were wondering about where's Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli for the AEW Tag Team Tournament. Basically, Moxley's taking a couple weeks off. Just kind of what we thought. He earned it, by golly, and good for him.
Yeah,
Renee had to work though.
Yeah, she did a cool segment. She did like that ramp side one. It was like almost like a football game, like on the sidelines. It was really cool.
It was super cool. I made a little note about that myself too. Yeah, we got Moxley taking his little vacation, and good stuff, good hot sauce. What else we got here? We got Tony Khan kind of confirming more or less some of the rules about the Continental Classic. Apparently the holder of the Continental Crown title at the time of the Classic gets an automatic spot, but they have to win the damn thing to keep it, which is
cool.
Fair enough. All the rules about no DQs and no ringside, anyone at ringside still apply. Looking forward to the damn thing. That kind of brought AEW to me out of a little bit of a slump after Punk left, and a lot of bad things going on, one after another, drama. And that kind of reinvigorated AEW in my mind, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was just going to say it set up a lot of people's 2024, like Swerve, Jay White is getting a bigger role. Daniel Garcia, even Kingston. So
Yeah, it was kind of the
absolutely.
beginning of the end of the slump. Like now they're firing on all cylinders right now, in my opinion.
I would say this Dynamite was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just as good as last. Or I thought Big Business was pretty good. I thought this one was better. I'm gonna be honest. I think this one was a better show.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Big Business, like on paper, had better matches, but I love the vibe of this show. It was all in all great. Like the EVPs and Okada kill it for me. Swerve, Osprey. Who knew Osprey was such an amazing promo? Like,
Dude,
he grabs my attention every time.
he's special. He's like rock special.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got it.
He did a cheap pop in the crowd moment where he was like, "Oh, do ask for your maple syrup, please." I went, "Shut up! You can't get away with that, Will Ospreay. You shut up." And it's like, we'll get into the subject or when we get to the promo because it was a great promo. It's just weird how they're like, "Oh yeah, Will Ospreay's just got nothing to do with the Don Callis family. Like he didn't leave or anything. He just has nothing to do with them anymore."
Yeah. By the way, just as an update, the puppy did not like the hot sauce. Big Dog likes the hot sauce.
Oh, yikes. Yikes. A little poo-poo later.
I am going to be cleaning up so much poop later.
Oh, yes.
All that and more on Grapple-Sauce.
For the $5 and up Patreons, I will take pictures.
Whoa.
Oh, yes.
What about WWE? I feel like this is my aspect, so I should know, but they're kind of just steering the course along. Like WrestleMania is getting, closer and closer. They're announcing a whole lot of matches as we're talking about them on the WWE cap. Make sure to check that out. But it seems like it's building to an all-time card, and I think this Mania will really befit the, it's not the 40th anniversary, but that, the 10th one is always a big WrestleMania, so 10, 20, 30. I think 40 will live up to that.
Oh yeah. This has the potential to be one of the greatest of all time, I would think.
I'm gonna watch it.
Whoa!
What?
Shall we review it?
Yeah, why not? We should do predictions for it.
We should.
We should do predictions for it.
Okay, I'm in. Count me in.
I asked for the both nights off.
Dave's already going to do his punishment by watching a WWE product.
Yeah, if Dave gets the predictions wrong, it'll be Chad and I. It'll be Chad and I. Dave gets a bye.
Right. I did go ahead and already decide for all three of us what our 1,000 subscriber punishment will be.
Yeah.
We got to get a wrestling related tattoo of our choice.
Ooh, I like that. I've been wanting to get a second tattoo.
Maybe if I can choose where it goes.
Yeah, and
I don't want people to see this.
150%. You hide that puppy wherever you want, but you get the motherfucker.
I love it. I'm in.
I'm gonna probably
You'll have to talk me into it more. You'll have to talk me into it more.
Chad, I want on your back the Macho Man and the ropes with the fucking snake.
I kind of want to just get our logo as a tramp stamp.
Oh
yeah.
I'll get Konosuke to catch his face right here, so I can always know where he is.
Chad, hot sauce makes me drop F-bombs, so I don't want to make you do extra work.
As in flavor bombs.
Flavor bombs. Sorry, I get carried away. My endorphin, dude. I don't do anything. I don't even drink. So hot sauce gets me high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, any other news, or can we continue eating this hot sauce?
Talk about the kind of WWE adjacent UFC settlement. 300 million. You know about that?
I don't know anything about UFC.
Something about many fighters were Boy, promise something. I was hoping you were gonna know about it, to be honest.
No, sorry, I don't like UFC. I don't keep focus on them. I only know that they merged with WWE, and that's about it. But I do have more news that I just remembered. WWE is doing indie shows now. Can you believe it? They're sending Shayna Baszler down to GCW, I think.
Yeah, for Bloodsport.
Yeah, can you believe that? And I think the reports are this is going to happen more often. So
Hell yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah,
I'm
online,
sure they
I
have
actually.
I'm sure they have a numero uno rule for that,
Of
right?
course. Yeah, totally has to go over.
Well, no AEW talent possibly on the card.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, AEW doesn't do things like GCW, right? So they'll have like,
Moxley did
Moxley was
Bloodsport.
in Bloodsport last year.
oh, never mind then. So that'd be
No, he
cool to
was in
see.
GCW. He was the champion. Moxley was the champion of GCW while he was in AEW.
That'd be cool to see a little dream matches between AEW and WWE. I don't know how you'd make it happen, but that'd be fun.
Yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
hard. It'd be hard, but we'll
Mhm.
see.
It would.
Yeah, I saw some awesome fantasy booking that's had me giggling for the last day and a half. Where like the Cope opener, maybe Swerve Strickland does the open challenge, and then R-Truth's music hits. He just walks out and just goes, "Wait, this ain't Raw," and just turns around and goes back up the tunnel.
No, that would be no. He works. He does the match, and then he like realizes halfway through, like, wait, this isn't Monday night.
I need that to happen.
And they call him like
Yeah.
whatever his name was from TNA. They're like, it's Ron Killings, and he's like, no, I'm R-Truth. What are you talking about?
Man, I think there's a possibility Tony Khan and Triple H will be around for long enough to where I think Tony Khan was pretty bitter about things that uh Voldemort did uh rather than Triple H, more or less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tony Khan has declared that, you know, he hates them pretty much, you know, for man, I can't remember the specific thing he uh oh, them trying to them
Yeah.
trying to poach Swerve while his mom was, or no, Regal?
I think it was
Swerve,
Regal.
right?
I think they got Regal and they were trying for Swerve because they wanted to bring back Hit Row, which was what Swerve was in WWE. He was in a faction called Hit Row.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't get Swerve back. So he was like, nah, you missed your boat. And they brought back Hit Row without him. And that's why Hit Row was like aimless because it was literally a faction for Swerve.
And Tony Khan's mom was like completely ill during that, and he'll never forget like dealing with that and then having to like deal with a whole new problem that shouldn't have even. And there was some like they've sent cease and desist orders to WWE, the whole 9 yards, legal, like all kinds of stuff. So yeah, but I think one day.
I'm not telling Tony Khan how to feel, but there's no way WWE were like, oh, his mom's in the hospital. Now we'll get Regal. Like I can't blame him for being mad about it, but it's like you gotta understand that. But this is just a fanboy who wants these two promotions to work together. So like WCW and WWF never worked together. And it took 20 years of TNA existing for them to start acknowledging each other, or at least WWE to start acknowledging TNA. So we'll see.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Yeah. Well, shoot. I think that might cover it. You don't have anything, Chad?
Did you guys hear about Ronda Rousey going scorched earth?
I heard something about it. I mean, it's one of those where like half of what she was saying about like Vince, yeah, it's probably accurate, but the whole like WWE sucks and is terrible. Well, I don't know about that,
She
but
made a distinction. So she in their book she didn't get a lot because then she ended up making some distinctions later, which saying like her editor kind of kept her word count down, so she didn't get into it too much other than kind of going scorched earth on Vincent Kennedy McMahon. But then like later on, she's like, the whole culture wasn't bad. Like the women were great. I was super friendly with them. And then she's like, but Laurinaitis and the other guy.
Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, that guy. Wow, I am getting hot sauce brain already. Yeah, she's like, those guys can go F themselves. But yeah, so don't think she's gonna be entertaining the idea of going back anytime soon.
I guess she's not getting in the WWE Hall of Fame anytime soon.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, well, I think we should go ahead and get into Dynamite, huh?
Dynamity.
Dynamity.
It was a hot
Yeah,
show,
yeah,
if
yeah.
you will.
It was. It was a
That
really
crowd.
good show.
What a crowd. That
I think,
dude,
yeah.
every time they go to Canada, right? They're
I think
freaking
Toronto specifically.
the last time they went was like in the worst of their issues with seating. So I remember those being not very packed, but I'm glad like ever since like Osprey, Okada, and Big Business and Revolution, like Sting's last match and all that, it's a big upswell of like momentum for them. So that's why I think we're seeing a lot more packed crowds, which I'm all for.
And some of them, sorry.
I was just gonna say it makes the shows a lot more fun to watch when they can do the big crown pans and there's people freaking out. Like it makes the show a lot better.
Yeah, and some of the markets they went to in Canada, like Toronto's a wrestling city, like Toronto,
Yes.
Montreal, but like they were going to like Regina and stuff, and I don't know if you guys are super aware of that. It's kind of like when they go to like the middle of nowhere, like outside Arkansas, or
Gainesville, Georgia, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent. Like you're in the middle of the prairies. Like the people that do live there probably want to leave. I know I did.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll start booking bigger cities. Yeah, they did that crowd pan and it was looking good. That was not embarrassing, or unflattering.
The crowd pans at Big Business were awesome. The crowd pans at Revolution were awesome, and those are just the ones off the top of my head. So I think they're in a real good spot right now. I'm not saying things are fixed or better, but we're on the upswing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Toronto, Canada. They show Adam Copeland and Christian, or rather, they show Adam Copeland and Christian and Okada each entering the building. They cut to the intro, which I'm not really loving the new song yet. Like, I'm so used to light the fuse, hit the boom, like for 5 years of my life. It'll I don't know. I don't love it. What do you guys think?
I feel like they were kind of starting to steer into new metal territory, and if they're gonna do that, go all the way. Like I feel like it's almost too safe, too generic.
I think it's fine. Opening like video package, like opening promo packages like that, where it's an opening video, they've never really been my thing. I've never really cared about them, so I never even noticed the last one for Dynamite, and I don't really note it like this one. It doesn't stick out to me.
I like the visuals, the videos are all that looks so good. But yeah, I think the song could be better.
One thing I'll say is it seems like they change their in like the wrestlers in it pretty often, and it's to relate to who are on the show. I always think that's a nice touch. And it's always like, why is Moxley all over this promo package and he hasn't been involved? Oh, it's because he's making a save. So
yeah, it's cool. It kind of gives you hints too, for sure. Yeah, I like it. Then we get a Mercedes Moné promo.
Per segment, boys.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm splitting that. I'm sorry.
I'm not taking a huge dab at it if I'm going to make it through this. It's delicious, but I might poop myself.
All right.
You're
at home.
I got a present for my wife, and so this morning I drank about 40 ounces of cold brew. So yeah, so between the caffeine, the nicotine, and now this, oh boy.
Here's to you, Monet.
Oh, that is tasty though. Start bringing some of these to work. Continue the old tradition.
Yeah, I brought mine to work. People were digging it. The company called Pucker Butt Hot Sauce Company, owned by the man who invented Pepper Rex and Carolina Reaper. I can't remember his first name. Something Curry, right?
Yeah.
Ed
Yeah.
Curry.
Not to be mistaken with Tim.
Yeah. But Pucker Butt, they make or made, hopefully they do, a sauce called just Gator. I think
Yeah.
Gator X or Gator. That was hotter than this stuff. Like that, I got a bottle of that and it like brought me to a different realm. Like I was like, my brain was on fire. But yeah, this stuff is mild. It tastes good. I am truly enamored by how good it is. How
You
you
know what?
feeling, Chandler?
Awful. You know what didn't set my brain on fire? This opening segment, because it sucked.
Yeah, it definitely floundered. So we got CEO chants, still kind of works. Say hello to your new CEO. She's excited to be in AEW. Wrestling almost got taken away from her. She got injured in New Japan Strong in a match with Willow Nightingale. She shows us a video package of her background since leaving the WWE. New Japan, I believe, Stardom matches, New Japan Strong, a lot of footage from that. Then she says she knows or knew she needed to be back and in AEW. She's there to lead a global revolution. Oh, wow. Whew, okay. That went down wrong. And she's here. She's here to lead a global revolution and calls out Julia Hart and Sky Blue and says they have a price to pay. The lights go out. Ooh. Sky Blue tries to attack Mercedes from behind while Julia Hart stands on the ramp. Mercedes takes out Sky with a backstabber, and then Mercedes almost gets Julia Hart in the moneymaker, but Sky grabs her. Julia and Sky get chairs, but Statlander and Willow come out and help Mercedes. Did you guys catch that little look that Mercedes made? Like you?
Yeah.
It was great. That was good. That was good. Little subtle stuff. Let's see. The lights go out and Julia and Sky are gone, even though the ring apron was still like swaying a little bit. Like and Willow, that little stinker, has her chair raised behind Monet. And Monet catches her ass.
Yeah.
Gives her a stink look. And Monet walks away.
Yeah.
Looking mad.
Apparently, she's got some heat with Moxley here.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Not that great of a promo. I liked the action in the end, but I'm just hearing blah blah blah, same old stuff.
Yeah, I'll say what I liked. The video package of her time in Japan and Stardom, really good. That was a really, really well made package, and it was only brought down whenever she was talking. Because I was like, oh, "Stop talking," and I hate it, but I'm at the point where it's like, stop having her cut promos and have her work a match. Like
That one. That's what I was gonna say.
That's where I'm at with this. Is like, stop with the promos. They're not good. They're bad. They like drag the show down. Have her work matches. Like what worked with Osprey? What worked with Okada? They did matches. Sure, they can cut a better promo, but they did matches and they've been good.
Yeah, no, that's always been her strong suit. Like even in the WWE, her best programs were all in ring action, and usually like somebody like Charlotte Flair would carry the promos, who was fantastic at them.
It's weird to me. Like maybe it's just because I like Tony Storm so much, but I always put in my notes, kind of like tongue in cheek, like whenever she's out, I say, finally, a star has come, right? Because I'm like, tee hee, it's all been mid Carters, and then now it's a real star. But I'm not kidding. Even with Mercedes Moné, this whole segment felt kind of like rampagey. Like, I know that's a weird thing to say, but I was like, it felt unimportant and kind of dumb. Whereas you get to the tag match, I thought that was pretty dang good. And I thought all the characters were pretty dang good. Even though Toni Storm's doing this silly gimmick, I think she goes so hard that it works. And I'm able to, like, it's not like I don't respect Mercedes Moné, but I respect it more, if that makes sense, right? Like, I get it. Whereas all this Monet stuff, it's like none of it's working for me right now.
Yeah, I'm into her theme song. I like the chanting. I like her look. I know her ability from just 3 moves she's done in AEW, right? 3.
Yeah.
Um, already from that, I can tell she can freaking go. I've never seen a match of hers, and from that footage I saw, like, she looks like she can uh, not only look good herself, but make her opponent look good too.
I mean, he's main evented WrestleMania, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not because of her promo abilities. She can go in the ring.
Well, a lot of people, when they talk about that match and that feud, is they're like, it was an awful feud. It was an awful build because it was it was the standard WWE. Can the challenger and the champion coexist? And then you get to the match and it's fantastic. And people are like, oh, it doesn't matter because the match was good. So
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see here. Hopefully, we get Monet in the TBS title picture, which is clearly where we're going with that.
yeah, I really don't know how I feel because I don't want her going for Tony Storm's title anytime soon. But
She's
I'm
going to take
sure.
them both.
Ah, ah.
First woman to take both.
No. The story is that Mariah May beats Tony Storm. That's the story. Let Mariah May finish her story, goddammit.
I just riled up Chandler.
He said, I was like, I don't know how I feel about her going for the TBS title because, well, I don't want her going for Tony Storm's title anytime soon. But, like, I don't know. I think there's so many other people that could do well. Like, the Thunder Rosa would be good. Serena Deeb. I really wanted Serena Deeb to win that earlier this year, and now she's just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. Like, she was going to revolutionize the women's division. Where's she gone?
No, I kind of wanted her to be Monet's first feud because those two would be fireworks.
I think it would be better for Monet if she just did big matches, which I think that's the problem with the women's division is they don't build just one-on-one matches for a pay-per-view. It always is like, oh, it's the collision before, the day before. Let's just throw a couple matches on the card. Oh, we need another women's match. Or, oh, it's just the title matches. So I think you need a few, like just have Willow versus Monet, no title at Dynasty. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Kind of semi-related women's division stuff. I saw a Ring of Honor promo on the top of, I think, Cage Side Seats or something, some wrestling article I was reading. And it was darn Hikaru Shida is now relegated to Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, like her, Athena. I want Nyla Rose back, I'm going to say. Like, she's a beast. I mean, that's her name, her moniker. But yeah, love Nyla Rose. I'm glad Vicky Guerrero got out of that picture. So yeah, anyway, moving along here, we got an Elite promo. They're backstage with Alex Marvez. Nick tells Marvez to speak in Okada's language in Japanese. Matthew says Okada will rise to the occasion in the Continental Crown match. Okada says he's coming for Eddie's title. And Matthew says him and Nicholas will be in the back behind the curtains, wearing the headphones, because it's AEW Continental Classic rules, which I like. I like that. So wait a minute. Okay, I'm ahead of myself. I'm going to ask the question I just came up with in a little while. Dun dun dun.
I'm excited.
But let's see here. Yeah, then we get the match. AEW Continental Crown, or what? They didn't call it the Crown though.
It's time.
No,
It's time.
no. And this is okay. I'm gonna rant, and this is why I have not liked this title since its inception, because they didn't do the cool thing that they should have done. They were like, "Oh, it's for all 3 belts," but then they said, like last week, this is only for the Continental Championship, and they said that's the only time they've ever challenged for the Continental Championship, which is why we didn't know when you challenge for this belt, it's Continental Classic rules. If they had been doing that, and Eddie Kingston was winning Continental Classic quality matches on TV, I would have liked this reign. But they're like, no, he's going to do Ring of Honor World Title Proving Ground matches. Like, what? No one wants to see that. So I was about to eat this, but that's my rant about if this is a great idea, getting the belt on someone like Okada, because it's going to fit for Okada, because he's got to prove himself that he doesn't need to prove it. But you get what I'm saying? Like, in story wise, he's got to prove that he can beat all of his opponents by himself, right? No Young Bucks, no interference.
Cheers
to Okada.
To Okada, the maker of Rain.
Mm-hmm. But I quite liked this match. It was my favorite thing on the whole card.
Yeah, it what are they saying nowadays? It slapped.
I liked it because it wasn't 50-50 booking. Like, Okada just felt like he had it under control the whole time.
He still sold like crazy, though. But yeah, it felt like Okada was always in control.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, love it, man. This stuff is good. All right. Yeah. So we got our match here. Continental Classic rules, no Young Bucks. I wrote down here, Renee did the little introduction, gave it a real sports feel. Loved it. Man, they're trying stuff, man. Like, and it's turning out pretty cool. I'll just say that. In the match, we got Okada at one point faking a chop, and Eddie unleashes strikes and chops on Okada. Okada sells it like I don't even know what. Like, that dude, amazing. That really caught my eye. Like, this dude is amazing. Like, I can't even like believe it. I gotta get into watching some of his matches from New Japan. Have either of you watched any New Japan work of Okada, or other than clips? Or
yeah, I watched a couple of his Kenny Omega matches.
Okay.
Mind
blowing.
Yeah.
Man,
like
okay.
hour-long pedal to the metal. Like, the way he structures his like big long main event matches, it's this slow burn that like the finishes are insane, but it's a story, and it builds and it builds and it builds, and like half hour in, and then all of a sudden it just keeps kicking into a new gear. By the end, you're just losing your mind. Like, it's a story.
I think I might be interested in learning more about the Painmaker and Rainmaker saga, right? Of kind of the genesis of pre-AEW era.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably interest me. I wonder, looking back and watching a match with Jericho in it, then like if I'll notice any ability degradation. I'm sure he was a little more nimble 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be, right? in that
What do you mean?
age
Lionheart
bracket.
Chris Jericho is super nimble tonight.
He landed on his head with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's winning back some of my goodwill, but we'll get back to.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about this Kingston Okada match. Jeez.
Yeah. Okada can't take down Eddie with shoulder blocks, but Eddie takes him down with one of his own. Eddie takes a DDT from Okada on the outside. We cut to the Young Bucks in the back with headsets on next to Tony Khan. Like, oh, look at that move. And Tony Khan's just like, yeah.
He's just sitting there
I
like,
loved it.
Loved
it. Okada makes a lazy 1-foot cover for a 1 count. Then Okada drop kicks Eddie from the heavens. Okada gives Eddie a neck breaker for and a cover for 2. Eddie gives Okada a back fist, but couldn't cover immediately. Okada kicks out at 2 because he couldn't make it. Eddie blocks Rainmaker by putting up his arms, but it still stunned him anyway. Okada ends up dodging another back fist and ends up hitting a Rainmaker for the win. He wins the freaking belt. Yeah, amazing match. Eddie really played the role of underdog, but like couldn't get the job done. Like Okada is so many levels, I'd say, above him. That belt might be beneath Okada.
I think Okada, I'm already more interested in this belt now that Okada has it. I think he's going to bring prestige to this belt and make people actually care about it other than have people go, oh, it's the 8th belt in AEW. I'm going to talk quick because my mouth is on fire. But my favorite part of this whole match was Okada selling to Kingston. Like when he took that back fist, he died. It was amazing. And when he was taking every single one of those chops, he like heaved with his whole body and he looked so good. And he still won fairly dominantly. So I think it was a phenomenal match. It's nice that like these people that I've heard about for years about how they're the best in the world, and you see them and you're like, oh yeah, everyone's right. They're all right.
Right?
Yeah. It's crazy to me, like the weird crop of like New Japan people like trickling over to AEW, starting with like Jay White, Okada, Ospreay, Juice Robinson. Yeah, really cool. More work for everybody, right? The business wins. Everybody wins. So we got Okada winning the match. He gets a bunch of pyro. The Young Bucks are backstage, happy, celebrating. And then we get Pac coming out. His music hits. I want it. Ooh, I want it. He scares him down. And yeah, we're getting that at Dynasty, right?
Oh, God. Yeah.
I hope so. That'll be a good one.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Pac, he is one of probably I'll have to rank my top 10 AEW roster members at one point, but he's in my top 10.
That'll be a fun video someday. Ranking our
Let's
top.
each make one.
Cody Rhodes is going to be at the top of mine. I'm sorry. I'm doing all AEW talent ever.
You're going to do all AEW talent that went to WWE.
It'll be Cody Rhodes, QT Marshall, QT Marshall, QT Marshall, QT Marshall, all the way down.
QT's back, baby. He's
so
the new
back.
Dante.
He's Dante Martin. Oh my gosh. If he cuts a promo and he just comes, he's like, hey guys, I'm back. I'm going to lose my crap.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of matches that made me lose my crap, I didn't think I'd see Cena Lesnar from SummerSlam 2015 on my Dynamite. Can you believe
it's like
it?
the Wish.com version.
Yeah. Can we talk about this match, or do I got to eat another chip first?
How do you like the Butcher, bud?
The Butcher?
Chandler? Yeah.
That is fine.
Oh, wait.
I'm talking about Hook and Jericho.
Oh yeah. We get a Swerve promo right before that, right?
I
Yeah,
think so.
that's where he announced the open challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that
No,
in ring
wait.
or out ring?
It was
That was
outright.
backstage.
All right,
I'm
we're a little
waiting.
early, right?
I'm
Are we
waiting.
early?
I'm waiting. Yeah.
We're locked and loaded. Get a Swerve promo after that. He says, Joe tried to embarrass me by choking me out. And he says, I have a history of choking people out myself. He's inspired by Mike Tyson training, and he wants to fight too. He wants an open challenge match, and he said, um, send a big man, though. I love that. Yeah, good stuff. Swerve is, man, that rocket is the opposite direction as Wardlow. Let me just say that.
Mhm. I keep noticing little things where it's like, oh, he's like, we all know he's a face, but like he's really a face right now. Like them renaming his finisher to the big pressure, right? There's another thing that we'll talk about in the match, but we'll get there.
Yeah, after that, we get a Willow and Statlander promo. Willow says she'll be the first or the woman with the most AEW street fights after tonight, which was on Rampage, the main event, by the way, which was kind of neat. This is a completely different Willow. Statlander says this is going to be the end of whatever they have going on with Julia and Sky. Mercedes Monet walks up, and Statlander thanks her for helping Willow. Last week, Monet says she's excited to watch the street fight later on Rampage. Stokely is in the background smiling. Like, I really love that. He's so good at it. And then Monet says, payback, a payback's a bitch. Willow walks up to Monet and tries to talk, but Monet says, you've done enough. Yeah, I liked this stuff. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, this seems like this had to have been written by her Jennifer, what was her
Her
name?
writer, or Brian
Yep.
Gerwitz.
Yeah. I think this is totally a her thing. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it was a little bit better. Maybe it's just Monet's inability to perform that made me not really care. But Willow and Chris are great, and Stokely's great. So I like Stokely a little bit at the end where he was like, "Hi, I'm Stoke," and she immediately left, and he was just kind of like, it was pretty silly, but I liked it.
Stokely says, what are you worried about? You broke her ankle.
And then
She's
Willow
like,
was like,
Stokely.
Stokely. That was a pretty good end with Willow. Like, you got it. You'll just do it again.
Dude, yeah, you're right, dude. Like, Statlander, Stokely, and Willow had so much more like personality.
Okay, can I backtrack on something I forgot about because I was dealing with the heat? But why are they teasing a Willow heel turn? She got misted by Julia, and it didn't turn her. But now that Monet's in, she's gonna hit her with a chair. That I think was what really annoyed me. I was like, why are we doing this? Why is she thinking it?
Okay, I did some YouTube watching and article reading, and I've kind of agree with she figures she's got to do it before Monet does it to her. That makes fucking sense.
But they're not friends or anything, right? I don't
No,
know.
she's gonna take her out before Monet takes her out. Right?
Okay. I'm gonna let this play out.
But then she, didn't do it. So
Yeah.
all right. Oh, we made it to an in-ring related event. You know what that means.
Pain and suffering.
Dude, these are great.
This one is to Jericho.
I have a
Not Hook.
ranch that I'm gonna do. That was cheating. I put ranch on it.
You didn't fail the prediction, so
True.
you don't have to do this.
You can also
Hmm.
just stick your finger in your eye a little. That'll make up for it.
Oh, it'll make me feel better.
Yeah. All right, we got an FTW title match.
It was just a one-on-one.
Oh yeah, you're right. I do have a question mark on that. So
Okay.
Hook versus Chris Jericho. Uh, we got the Hook Batman bat signal. That thing is so dope. Hook drops Jericho on his head immediately with a T-bone suplex. Jericho's super stunned. Hook pummels Jericho, gives him another T-bone cover for 2. Hook gives Jericho like 15 German suplexes, dropping him on his head, not even on his back or his shoulder. Like I think Jericho turned weird and landed on his shoulder, but
Yeah.
yeah, they were some bumps. Jericho counters another suplex into the walls, but couldn't lock it in. Jericho fights back, but gets another suplex. Jericho nails a lion salt, covers for 2. Jericho punches Hook on the top rope, but Hook gets the red rum on Jericho. Jericho gets out and goes to the walls again, but Hook rolls Jericho up for the win, and they fist bump. So yeah, I like it. I like Lionheart Jericho. Uh, maybe this is how I should just fade into the sunset.
Right?
Well, like I was saying last week, maybe he's going back to the first gimmick he had because he is wrapping up.
Yeah. Yeah, I did have one minor quibble, which is Hook was so dominant during the whole thing, and then the finish just felt a little sneaky and weak. I figured like he should have just straight up like suplex, red rum, done.
Yeah.
Ref had to call it. That should have
Yeah.
been how it went.
I almost thought, like, you know how Wardlaw would powerbomb people until the ref stopped it? What if Hook just suplexed Jericho and the ref was like, all right, you're done. This is it. I'm done with this. But I thought it was a good win for Hook. It was a fine match by Jericho standards, and I really liked the story of no matter whenever Jericho could do something, Hook would just shut him down with the suplex.
Yeah. They told the story for sure. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Hey, you holding up, Chandler?
How many more matches do we have?
Maybe like 2 or 3, right?
And then the Osprey promo. Oh, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Like the match. Don't mind Jericho at all right now. Keep him under my radar like that, and I'm okay with it. Moving along, we get an Adam Cole promo. Completely uninvested, disinterested in any of this. Wardlow needs to drop these fools. I think they're leading to it here. He says Wardlow disappointed him and had one job and failed. His new goal: help Taven Bennett and Roderick Strong all keep their titles. He says, "Don't screw it up."
So did he
Yeah,
just become the accountability buddy again?
yeah.
I don't know.
No, wait, Sean Spears was his accountability buddy. That was an MJF thing.
Yep. Yeah, good stuff. After that, we get Jericho backstage. He says Hook lived up to what he was hoping for. Jericho puts him over and calls him a future world champion and says he's got a proposition for Hook next week on Dynamite. What do you think it is?
Tag team.
Yeah. He can do the Darby Allin thing, huh? And go out like that. Chandler.
Sorry, I'm really not doing well. This is getting real bad, real quick.
I think I've like just leveled.
Remember,
We got Will.
jalapenos are spicy for me.
Yeah. We got a Will Ospreay promo in the ring. So just do a tiny minuscule
Do a
drip,
little bit.
dribble drab. A
Okay.
skosh.
Here we go.
Little dab will do ya.
Boom.
This is for you, Will, and your syrup, your pandering.
Mm.
Oh, that was a good one.
I'm just having some normal dinner here. He apologizes to Canada for being a little bit of a naughty boy last time. That was his match against Omega.
Because
that match was.
he did the Shawn Michaels thing where he took the Canadian flag and ran it between his legs, and then I think Omega choked him out with it for a little bit. So here's your little bit of a naughty boy.
I'm dying. So, yeah, guys. It finally got me. All right, sorry about that.
Was that the Will Ospreay promo? Right there,
Yeah,
that was
it's making
it.
me. You see my key.
Oh no!
That was so good of a promo. He was a naughty boy, man. He put that flag and wiped his butt with it. He said he's there for the betterment of AEW, and he saw Danielson versus Shibata. He said, "What a professional wrestling match." He said he couldn't. He said Danielson said he couldn't walk in his shoes. When Ospreay went to Japan, where Danielson wanted to be a star,
Ooh.
He saw Danielson's shoes in the ring and couldn't fit because they were too small.
Oh, he go home real good. That one, love.
Bruv. He mentions all his titles and accomplishments and winning the World Heavyweight Championship. He wants a match with Shibata to prove himself. Yes. Dude, I like how they're giving Shibata something to do. Bless his little heart.
Yeah, I think it's funny that they're having a dick measuring contest and Shibata's the ruler.
Yeah, It makes Shibata look pretty dang cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like how he mentions 7 years ago he had a match with Shibata and he knocked the piss out of him. Yeah, that's great. He's a new guy now though. He's 30 years old and got a kid and wife and blah blah blah. Yeah. But man, Ospreay is special. Like this promo, the way he comes out and just like skipping and like just he doesn't walk. He like levitates around like a ping pong ball, you know? Just so much energy. And then when he gets on the mic, like he takes that energy and ratchets it up somehow even more. Yeah. We're in for a treat with this guy. He's going to be the face of the company, I think, at one point after Swerve.
I think Ospreay has a much higher ceiling than Swerve, and I love Swerve to death. But I think Ospreay's going to be a true I think Ospreay will be AEW's first mega star.
Yeah. He's like generational, like Cena levels.
I want to see him in some kind of movie where he's in like jail or something, like kicking ass or something. That'd be fun. Or like
Yeah.
a gangster,
Mhm.
like a road man.
He should have been in Roadhouse.
Ooh, yeah, not Conor McGregor.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. After that, we get a recap of Christian Cage and Adam Copeland's feud. Uh, they show a Spike again, the new weapon of choice. Then we get a women's tag match, which I swear they're going to be doing some women's tag belts at some point here. We got Toni Storm and Mariah May versus Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. I don't know. This match kind of didn't jump out at me as being the same caliber as a Toni Storm related match as of late.
I liked the storytelling going into this match and going out of this match. I think it's setting up her match for Dynasty. But the match itself, it wasn't really good like I know Toni Storm can have, and it wasn't really like impactful like the Deonna Purrazzo Toni Storm feud, and it wasn't funny like the other side of Toni Storm matches. So it's just kind of there.
Yeah, it left something to be desired in my mind. I didn't even have a lot of notes. Basically, Deanna double clotheslines Tony and Mariah. Luther takes a swipe at Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, we're there again.
This is for you,
Um,
Tony. What I don't do for you.
Well, I ran out of nuggets, but I don't really have to do any more of these, and they're not affecting me that well. That last one got me. Went down the wrong pipe, but Deanna didn't like Thunder Rosa tagging herself in. Got a little drama brewing from that. Tony gives Thunder Rosa a hip attack, and Tony Storm goes for Storm Zero, but Thunder Rosa counters into a pin and gets the win. Kind of like it just seemed like super abrupt, and the timing was a little off on when the ending was, and yeah, I wanted a finisher. I'm kind of not a big fan of the influx of surprise roll-ups and counter pins, and I don't know. I want them to focus more on submissions and finishers.
I think the only person that really worked for me was Daniel Garcia. It was beating a lot of people bigger than him with his technical skill.
Yeah.
And he won every single match with it for a while. And he was beating the House of Black with it. So that's the one where I was like, this isn't a surprise roll up. This is your finisher now. Like, this is what you do.
Yeah, for
I'm
him
in
it
a
looks
place.
like a legit wrestling move, not just a sneaky little win.
Time, place, and person. He worked with him.
But there's
Sure.
like at least two on every single one of these shows, and it breaks it down from like this could have been a fine roll up. Like Thunder Rosa got a roll up win on a Tony Storm. That means she's the number one contender now. Da 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 da. Like that could be fine if you didn't do it a lot of other times. Like the Hook match. Hook should have had a conclusive finish.
I'd rather have a DQ or a wonky finish than all these surprise roll-ups and
Wait,
counter
was the
pins.
surprise
And,
roll up just the move of the night?
They don't do that
the
anymore.
TurboTax. Yeah, TurboTax. Tax
Deonna
season's
Purrazzo-
kind of winding.
Deonna Purrazzo didn't spike anyone on their head, so they didn't have any material.
Yeah. Poor Madison. Hope she comes back. All right. After that, we get Swerve Strickland. Let's see. Oh yeah, it was an open challenge. We got the Butcher from the hot rock band Every Time I Die, which I like him as a wrestler, and I think one day, man, they should really push that guy. I don't have anything left to eat, so
This is for you,
actually,
Swerve.
Did
actually,
did did the butcher look a little more jacked?
he sure and nimble and
Yeah.
like that freaking swirly backbreaker he did. That was like not something he could have pulled off earlier in his career. So, cool. Yeah. So we got Swerve head butting the Butcher. Swerve was in control early. The Butcher does a half Nelson backbreaker to Swerve. Swerve no sells a lariat from the Butcher into a stomp on the Butcher's back. We get a house call, then the Swerve stomp, and he doesn't cover. He gets Butcher in a really cool arm submission that I've never seen him do, and the Butcher taps. Apparently, that's could be Swerve's first submission in AEW. They were saying.
They said that it was
Uh,
his first time he's won a submission in AEW, so I'm sure it's going to be his new finisher. And it's like, Joe, you choke people out. You have a submission. Now I have one too.
yeah. Cool. I wonder what they're gonna call it. Cool. After he wins, we get Swerve on the mic. He says, Samoa Joe, I had respect for you before I met you. Then he felt indifferent when he got to know him, and then he stopped liking him. And now he's close to hating him. He wants to choke him out, but doesn't have enough chain for his big ass neck. Uh, let's see. He's going to take out security until he gets what he wants. Out comes Samoa Joe. He says logic should dictate that I should ignore Swerve because he lost. He's going to give him exactly what he wants, though. Don Callis interrupts, and there were so many boos that you could barely hear him. Don proposes Takeshita teach Swerve a lesson. Swerve accepts the match with Takeshita, and then he'll come after Samoa Joe. Cool. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Takeshita and Swerve. That is going to be something special, I'm sure. Huh, Chandler?
I cannot wait. These are very clearly my two favorite wrestlers in AEW, and they're my second and third wrestlers right now. Like I love both of these guys so much. My only problem is I wish they could do it on pay-per-view so they could have like 30, 40 minutes to kill the
Right.
but you can't have everything. So I think they'll have a fantastic TV match and it'll be big for Swerve when he inevitably wins, which that's just kind of Takeshi's spot as he loses to all the people on the up and up, which is fine. I hope he gets his time, but you can't push everyone, right?
He's playing ball, Takeshita. I think that'll pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it means a lot that he's like, oh yeah, you want me to make all your Will Ospreys and your Swerveland Stricklands look good? Yeah, I'll go in there and have a great match with them, and I'll lose at the end. But people are gonna go, man, that Takeshita. Why aren't we doing more with him?
Yeah.
It's me. I'm that guy.
Also me.
Me too. Me too. Me three. Yeah, fun stuff. Cool. We have made it to our main event.
Yes, we have.
Oh god.
TNT title match, an I Quit match. Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. Christian defending that title. Copeland tries to spear Cage. Let's see. They fight in the crowd. They get in the penalty box and they take some jerseys from the fans. Christian had the Boston Bruins and Copeland had the Maple Leafs. They they hockey fight in the penalty box. Real cool stuff. Pulls the shirt over, boom, 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 uppercut. Cage at one point runs in the women's bathroom. A bunch of ladies run out during picture in picture. That had to be like paid women, right? I think that would have been so much funnier if it was really women that were just like, "Oh no."
Yeah. Maybe like I don't know how it could have worked, but maybe Christian went in there and he was like, "Guys, we're gonna shoot a thing. I need you all to run out now."
Uh, let's see. We got Copeland in control. Copeland gets a ladder and he props it on the timekeeper and the announce table flat. Copeland pulls Cage down on the ladder from behind, like I know there's a name for it, but that was pretty cool. Yeah, just slammed Copeland or Cage's head, back, neck, right on the ladder. That had to probably hurt for Copeland too a little bit.
Mhm.
Copeland sets up an inverted ladder. Have you guys ever seen that?
No.
And drops Cage on the braces on his stomach. God, that was brutal. Copeland gets a table and sets it up against the barricade on the outside. Cage dives on Copeland head first. Or let's see. Cage dives on Copeland. Nope, sorry, having trouble reading my writing. Sorry, guys. Cage drives Copeland head first into the ring post. Cage climbs to the top and dives on Copeland. Copeland crashes through the table, and Copeland won't quit. Uh, Christian Cage catapults Copeland into the ladder while they're in the ring. Copeland gets a crossface on Cage, and he won't quit. They both try to spear each other at the same time, and they hit each other's shoulders, and both men are down. Adam Copeland gets a hockey net and throws Christian in it. Goal! uh, Mother Wayne hits Copeland in the balls with a hockey stick. Still won't quit. Christian Cage breaks the hockey stick over Copeland's back. Christian Cage hits Copeland with a hockey stick in the ring and then chokes him. Still won't quit. Christian gets a barbed wire chair. Adam Copeland moves out of the way of a concerto with the barbed wire chair. Adam Copeland chokes Cage with his drawstring from his ring gear. Nick Wayne and Killswitch jump Adam Copeland, those dirty guys. But then Garcia and Daddy Magic run out to help out. Copeland jumps off the ladder on Nick Wayne and Killswitch. Then Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic handcuff Nick Wayne and Killswitch. Mother Wayne wants no part of it and runs away. Christian Cage is surrounded and gets speared by Copeland. They handcuff Christian Cage and Copeland gets spiked. Copeland low blows Cage and he won't quit. Copeland kicks him in the balls over and over and over and he won't quit. Copeland gets Spike and hits him in the balls with it. Won't quit. Copeland raises Spike to hit Cage in the head, and Cage finally says, "I quit." And new TNT champion Adam Copeland. Yeah, what a moment. I thought it was cool. Thought it was great. It was probably cool to see, uh, the way it was supposed to. So, yeah, bummer about that feed on Fight TV.
Yeah, it didn't ruin the match for me. It just was like I didn't know how I felt because I really wanted Daniel Garcia to win. I thought he was the right choice to win. And it's not like I think it's a bad idea that Copeland won. That's the story they were telling, obviously. But it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm glad he was still out there to make the save, but I don't think this will end in Garcia winning it anymore. Like, that's something I was really wanting and thinking would happen. And maybe that is still going to be the case, but it was a really fun match. It was a little long, but it was a lot of fun. My favorite parts were like during picture in picture. Sorry, my mouth is on fire. And like you said, with Christian running into the women's restroom, I just like Excalibur being like, that is as far as those cameras can go, by the way. So that's why it's a shot like this. Like, I liked how they were like selling it still. Taz called him Edge again, which I get it. It's just a slip up, but it's still funny. I'm still going to point it out. I still call him Edge,
Yeah.
And then I think the only thing I would truly change about this match, and it was nothing to do with the in-ring performance, where was Nigel McGuinness? Come on, he should have been like crying when Christian said I quit.
Right?
That's the only thing I would change, is I would have just had Nigel McGuinness, like a fourth man or whatever, on commentary for this week, because I think he would have been perfect.
True. I mean, I think he's got that sweet deal where he just doesn't have to.
But this is definitely one where I'm gonna let it play out. And like, I don't have a good opinion. I don't really have a bad opinion. It's just not what I was wanting to happen, not what I was thinking to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe, I'm sure he'll bring back the Cope Open, which will be fun. And hopefully he can do what John Cena did and elevate younger talent with his Open Challenge, because that was like the best thing Johnny Cena ever's done. Sorry, I'm slurring. That's the best thing John Cena has ever done in his career, is the United States Open Challenge, because he took the least important belt, made it feel not like the most important, but he made it feel important in its own right. And he elevated Dean Ambrose, Sami Zayn, even Stardust, Wade Barrett, like all these people that got to,
come on,
Cesaro,
that was epic.
Kevin Owens, like he got to elevate all these people.
Yeah, when Kevin Owens' music hit, he came out with the NXT championship. That was really good.
So if they can do something like that with Copeland, I'm all in.
Where was Adam Copeland's last WWE match?
Toronto, I think.
That's what I thought. So there was something to do with his ring gear. Like, it was pretty much the same thing.
That's cool. I didn't watch his last match. I think I saw like pictures of it, and I remember being white and blue. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Same gear.
I thought this was a good match.
I'm sure he's gonna like frame those or something.
The big question: what do you do with Christian after this and the patriarchy?
You know what? I'm not worried. I'm just kind of like, la 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 la. It'll be good. Like, like I'm gonna let it play, and I'm not even worried at all.
I'm not worried. It's just like, what do you think's gonna happen next? Are we closer than we think to the Copeland Christian reunion?
I think right.
I think
they need to stay away from each other for a good long while to really let that build.
Some really dastardly heel is trying to, he's in a feud with Copeland, and Cage saves him somehow, right? Or like, how's something like that?
Takeshi's gonna knee Copeland for the 50th time in a match, and then Christian comes out and makes the save.
Yeah,
people will lose their mind in the crowd.
Turns on him.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, I'm really enjoying AEW right now. They're keeping me engaged. I'm not bored. The phone test, I'm not trying to check my emails or whatnot. Yeah, I really liking it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not talking.
I am high on sauce.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hang in there. But I would agree. It's been pretty dang good. This was a really good episode. I'm super excited for Ospreay and Shibata and Takeshita and Swerve. Dynasty's shaping up to be real good with at least Danielson and Osprey. Sorry, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And then Joe and Swerve. Maybe this will be the big crowning moments for Swerve. So I think we're in a good moment, and I think there's a lot of good things to like about AEW
Yeah, and
right now.
I'm sure Monet will have probably her first
Julia.
real big. Yeah.
Do we want to do highs and lows?
Yeah. My high, not me. I'm high, but my high, uh, uh, man, it was all pretty good. I'm trying to think of a moment where I was really, really, really into it. I guess Will Ospreay, his promo.
Really?
Yeah, I felt such a good I felt so good about AEW's future during and after that. That really resonated with me.
We'll just wait for
Um,
someone like MJF to come back and start feuding with Osprey. I think that'll be a
God,
legendary
dude.
feud.
No, he's going to cost Cody the belt in WrestleMania.
No, I'd be so pissed.
Let's see. Low for me. The women's tag match didn't hit for me. It was worse than the weird empty feeling of how Eddie lost for me.
I think that's fair. I'll go real quick. My high was the entire Okada Kingston match. I loved it from beginning to end. I can see where you're coming with the rushed bit, but I felt it was fine. And it kind of was like, at least in the story of the match, both men were tired and at their limit, and they're just trying to hit one more desperate move to get back. So I'll give it to that whole match, and Okada winning is brilliant. Like, when's the last time someone debuted this early in AEW and won a title? I don't think they've done it yet. So I think that was brilliant from start to end. Even the little stupid Young Bucks and Tony Khan snippets they would throw in there, like this Young Buck Okada stuff they're working on, is great. I think it is
that bit where they picked out the replay, and it wasn't a very good replay, but it was just because it's Okada. We gotta throw the replay.
He hit a DDT on the outside. They're like, we need to replay that. That was a great move. We need to replay that.
Yeah, and Okada's shit-eating grin right after the DDT.
Okada's face is like, not only when he was getting chopped, but when he was in control, he looked like a dastardly bitch, and it was great. My low, I would honestly give it to all of the Monet stuff. I felt like, at least with the women's tag team match, I'm interested in where that goes. I am not interested in anything Monet's doing right now. So, but that can all change with one match. I'll admit that. She can have one match on Dynasty, and I'll go, yeah, she is great. She just needs to have less promo time.
Yeah. Or
give her. What if she had a manager?
Who? Stokely?
I think that could work, man. I mean, he was Jade Cargill's manager for a minute.
But I like your manager idea. I think that's how you could really improve. But like, it would also kind of be insulting but I don't know. It's not for Okada, because the Young Bucks kind of cut his promos and they let him deliver one line. So it's almost like it would feel kind of insulting to be like, okay, you're this big star, and here's your manager. Like,
work for Lesnar.
Yeah, Monet is not Lesnar. Monet is not Lesnar. I think that's a big difference. I think Lesnar was way worse than Monet and promos. Like, he needed it.
Yeah.
And and
he had the stage presence just behind there.
Yeah.
Doing his little jump up and down, flexing. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that guy's scary.
He would just smile a little bit when Paul Heyman was saying good things, and he'd start getting mad, like, ooh, Roman Reigns. Like, he was perfect in that bit. And Monet's never had a manager, even in WWE. So I don't know. I don't know if that would work, even though I like that idea. It's just weird.
It would have to be the right person, right? Like the perfect fit.
Guerrero.
Ugh.
I actually love Vicky Guerrero, so I would not hate that, but I understand why everyone else does. So I'm not gonna push it.
Yeah.
How about you, Chad? Highs and lows.
Specifically for my high was the hockey fight.
That was
That
pretty
Yep.
silly.
that was goofy wrestling at its finest. Like I really enjoyed, like, some overbooked messes I hate, but I feel like that match was, it's kind of, for me, was like the best version of an overbooked mess. It was just entertaining. It was a popcorn match, and yeah, the hockey stuff really sung to my national pride as a fellow Canuck. Low. Oh man, I don't want to pile on, but yeah, Monet didn't really. I feel like it's a weak start for her. I feel like recently, with like how Okada's come out, with how Osprey's come out, this just feels B level.
I think the big difference is those two are able to have matches. And it's like, of course, we know Takeshita and Eddie Kingston and Kyle Fletcher are great, but they're taking these guys to levels that we haven't really seen in AEW before. At least I haven't. And so, Takeshita aside, because I know he's brilliant, but you know what I'm saying, right? They're taking these people to this new level and they're making them both look good. Whereas I feel like in this Monet feud, she's only trying to make herself look good, and everyone else under her is just chump change. Like
Yeah.
Julia and Sky look pretty stupid. Chris and Willow look like background characters, even though they're the ones arguably doing better, in my opinion. They feel like second fiddle to just Monet. This just feels like when Monet's in the segment, it's all about Monet. Whereas even in the Osprey segment, it was an Osprey promo, and he was kind of talking trash on Danielson. He still hyped him up.
Yeah.
He still knew who he's wrestling. So
Yeah. Or even if you go back, like, because they're obviously trying to replicate the magic of CM Punk returning. But even that, he walked in the door, he put over Darby Allin, which was his first match. He put over Will Hobbs. Like, he was like, no, these guys are the elite. Like, I'm trying to see if I can still hang. Or I feel like you're right, where she's trying to make herself the star.
So and again, I'm negative now. This can all change after a match or two, right? She could have a banger with Willow, a banger with Julia, and I can eat my humble pie and say I was wrong, but I'm still going to say she probably shouldn't cut as many promos.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Here.
Okada and Osprey have leapfrogged her as far as quality of trajectory. Yeah, good stuff. I'm really digging what they're doing right now. Looking forward to the pay-per-view. Should be really good. Let's see here. Not a whole lot going. There was a Rampage. I don't know. Let's see.
Any highlights? Anything to write home about?
Yeah, a couple things occurred. Got a little Bullet Club Gold promo. Bragging about turning on the Acclaimed. Get Jay White talking about Darby Allin and not being able to climb Mount Everest. And there was a brief snippet of a Juice Robinson sighting. They were like, the setting was, they were just at some like house at the pool. And yeah, there was literally Juice Robinson was in the way background and just disappeared into a door. So I think that was on purpose. So it had to have been. Then we get an Acclaimed promo. They're should have known they were gonna, be betrayed by the Bang Bang Gang. Billy's not cleared. Yeah, and they're pretty mad. And they got the Ass Boys chant coming back. So, yeah, I think that's justified. We had a qualifier match, the wild card match for the tag title tournament. OC and Trent taking on Will Hobbs and Kyle Fletcher.
Ooh.
Looks like OC and Trent ended up taking that. They moved on to the tournament. Yeah, let's see what happened
Who did
here.
they pin? Did they pin Fletcher?
Yeah. OC hits Orange Punch on Fletcher and pins for the win.
The
God,
guy
we're still
that,
pinning Ring of Honor champions on TV.
yeah.
I know we don't care.
Also, the guy that took Osprey to the limit too on a TV match.
I know we don't care,
Mhm.
but like Tony Khan, you should care.
Yeah, let's see here. We got a Shibata squash match on Rampage 2 against some guy named Kevin Matthews. Yeah, real quick match. Shibata ends up winning that with a sleeper hold into a PK kick for a 3 count. We get Copeland backstage celebrating with champagne and Top Flight, Orange Cassidy, Trent, Matt
Wait,
Sydal.
Did he have a little bit of the bubbly?
He did. They were,
Reference. I remember.
Garcia was there. Yeah, fun stuff. Then we get Takeshita versus Rocky Romero. Pretty cool match. I like Rocky Romero. I know he's kind of what you would call maybe in the latter years of his career, but he can still go. He's entertaining. I think it's goofy. He wears an eye patch just to the ring, but it's cool. But yeah, Takeshita wins with a let's see. What do they call it? Rolling.
Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yeah.
No, that never beats anyone.
Maybe they did one person with it last year, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Takeshita got a nice win. After that, we get a recap of the Willow Statlander feud. Then we get the actual match. Toronto Street Fight. Willow and Statlander end up winning after a brutal match with really cool thumbtack spot. Sky Blue grabs a bag of thumbtacks, and then Statlander has her own bag of thumbtacks, so they both pour them out, and Sky Blue puts them in Statlander's mouth and super kicks her. Sky Blue powerbombs Statlander. So she gets her up in the turnbuckle, and you know that move where you tuck their head way down low and you usually kick them? She like pulled her street fight shirt over her head and power bombed her on the tacks and barebacked. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, good stuff. Statlander misses a 450 to Julia Hart while Julia Hart was on a pile of chairs. Julia capitalizes and gets her in the Heartless Lock, and Julia and Sky Blue win. Right before that, Willow gave Sky Blue a Death Valley driver off the apron onto 2 tables. It was amazing. Very well executed. Nothing was wonky or done wrong. It looked great. Yeah, really fun. It just like really rolled seamlessly. Fun fact, this was AEW's very first 3 consecutive hours of live television.
Oh, cool.
3-hour Dynamite, baby. We learned
Dude,
nothing from
and
3-hour Raw.
so the ratings were pretty good too. They were like 800,000, which is
Oh, wow.
steady, which isn't it's not, amazing. It's not like a million, but Rampage ended up netting like 500,000 retaining from Dynamite's momentum, and that's more than what NXT is doing right now. So a lot of people are out there like, is Tony Khan gonna like do a little thinking about this? I think they could get rid of Rampage, make it a 3-hour Dynamite, and put more women on there. If they can keep the flow good, if it's not like 40 minutes of people talking
It's too
per
long.
hour.
It's too long of a weekly show. Like
Yeah.
you always
2
lose
hours
your
is the
interest.
sweet spot.
Yeah, you don't want to like. You don't want to mess it up.
Keep them sporadic, make them special, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe do some special episodes.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it like this, where they're like, "Hey, it's because there's an NCAA tournament, so we're not even having Collision. We're going to move the Rampage to Wednesday." Like, I'm fine with that because there's an extenuating circumstance, but we should not go to 3-hour Dynamites. You will regret that.
Yeah, I mean, Raw is pretty monotonous, right? Is SmackDown
Raw's
3 hours?
Raw's 3 hours. SmackDown's 2. But a lot of people have always preferred SmackDown because it's 2 hours and you can fit a lot more succinct stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raw gets really recap heavy. And
filler.
yeah.
A lot of rematches where you're like, oh, I've seen this match 5 times. Like last year, it was literally like Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins versus Judgment Day. And that was like the main event of Raw for like months. Like just a combination of that or a singles match or something. And that drove people. I wasn't watching it, but that drove people insane because they're like, yeah, it's the same match. Oh, Sami Zayn teaming up with Cody Rhodes to fight Finn Balor and Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio came in and made the disqualification and blah, 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 blah. It happened all the same way. So, and that's years. This is like a decade into them doing 3-hour Raws.
Yeah.
So,
I do appreciate that that's something AEW does not do.
I wish they did
Repetitive, monotonous.
But I'd rather have less rematches than more rematches. My big thing about that is I don't like it when someone loses a title and then they just move on. They're like, I'm like, I'll always do like a rematch clause. Like, you just get one. You don't need to do the 50-50 booking 2 out of 3. Like, you don't need to do that. But I like them being like, hey, I just lost a title. I really care about that title. I want it back. Let me fight you again.
Yeah. Or prove that it wasn't a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, fun stuff. You two gentlemen are gonna have our WWE cap, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, should have
I
gone out.
like it. I really enjoyed your technically episode 2.
Yeah.
That's the Patreon reward. Subscribe to our Patreon. You get episode 1.
Yeah, the pilot episode, the unseen pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That was like the first Game of Thrones pilot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about NXT. It was great.
Yeah. He almost got a Tony. He cried a little.
Cool. Yeah, fun stuff. We've got a latest top 5 video out. A couple of them actually. We got top 5 sickest bumps in AEW, and then top 5 most brutal variations of the pile driver.
I have to say that was excellent. You did a really good job with that.
Did you watch it, Chandler?
I have not yet. No, I've been having car issues these past couple of days, so I've just been busy. I haven't been on YouTube a whole lot. That's why I don't have any like WWE news, just because I haven't been watching it. But I want to watch it.
You do what everyone out there should do and check it out. It turned out really nice. I'm really proud of it.
The pile driver,
it was excellent.
Pile driver is one of my least favorite moves in wrestling, so I'm sure I'll be like, why would you do it like that? Why would you do it like that?
My favorite part of that was when you did the the switch from like what you're doing to the old timey music. I was like, that was genius. It was a really good edit. Very cool.
Very satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, but we're gonna try to crank those out more often. Should be good stuff. Yeah, we're gonna want to do a few more retro reviews. We should probably do that on Monday.
Yeah, we want to do WCW Howling Havoc 97.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still have
yeah.
the notes for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll get
I'm gonna
that ready.
rewatch some of it and brush up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got that all ready, and that should be really fun, actually.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do NXT Takeover Portland.
Or Dallas.
Yeah, no, it
Or
was
Dallas.
Portland was on my mind, but yeah, it was Dallas or was it
The
New
one-
York? I'd have to look it up again.
Yeah.
2017.
You'll let us know.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the one that
yeah.
basically like it was like stole the show from WrestleMania that year. It was fantastic.
I think that's Dallas because
Yeah.
that was WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, that
And
makes
WrestleMania
sense.
32 sucked.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Yeah, out there. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and leave a comment. We really appreciate your support. We all love wrestling with pretty much every fiber of our being, and yeah, wrestling's special. Like it just is. A lot of people out there don't get it. They don't want to get it. Not worth their time. But yeah, there's a lot to be said. You're watching a movie where people are literally doing the stunt live in front of you. Like
Yeah.
that's so much talent involved.
Yeah, and sometimes things go wrong and they got to pivot, and it's just interesting.
Mm-hmm. Like that poor guy falling on his face on Collision. Happens to all of us. But he recovered.
Big thing I love about wrestling too, real quick, is the goal of it is to make the fans go home happy.
Right?
Like that's really the goal. So like I like a little bit of hockey. I'm not big on football. Basketball's not my thing. Like I used to be pretty into hockey, and I would get pretty like bummed, or like I would let it affect me more than I should if my team lost or it was the big game. And like that's why I like wrestling. Like
Yeah.
it's made to make me happy.
Yeah. No, at the end of the day, even if your guy doesn't win, who cares as long as the story was good? Like the match was good.
That's why I love it. But yeah, we really enjoy doing this. Thank you all for sticking with us. There are people out there watching. Don't know who you are, but thank you. If you're one of them, leave us a comment. If you are listening to me right now, say hi. Leave us a comment. We want to talk to you, and thank you.
Who's your favorite wrestler? Tell us. We'll react. We'll like and subscribe to you. That's a joke. Well, we don't do that, but
Actually, I have done that to a few of our people that have clicked on
have
us. I
too.
go through the analytics. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sub to this guy back.
yeah, we're not gonna promise it.
Yeah.
But comment. We might comment back. We'll let you know what we think. If your favorite wrestler is Jericho, you're banned. The joke.
Hey,
Silly
Taylor.
joke. Silly
What if
joke.
Jericho himself comments and puts himself over saying he's his favorite wrestler?
Oh, get over yourself, Jericho. Pick a different, better wrestler.
Ooh.
Yeah, cool. I think that might about do it. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chandler. Really
Thank you,
enjoy
Dave.
having you.
Thanks, Uncle Dave.
Yeah. Ooh. The Daver. I'm the Daver.
The Daver.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, that about does it. Look forward to our retro review. No Collision this week. We're gonna pull the trigger on that. It's gonna be
Yay.
fun. But yeah, everyone have a fun time out there, and catch us next time. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.